And when you recite a verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises the believers, you need to love who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises if you love Allah. Hundreds of examples. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ خَيْرُ الْبَرِيَّةِ جَزَاؤُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَشِيَ رَبَّهُ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves al-muttaqeen, you need to love al-muttaqeen. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَّقِينَ. If you love Allah, you love who and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. You love taqwa, and then you love al-muttaqun. You need to love who He loves and be loyal to them and have wala for them because Allah loves them. This matter is clear in the Quran. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically praised the believers for having wala. So you need to, what you take from that verse, you need to love the believers and you need to love the concept of wala in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. In this verse, there's a series of praised qualities pertaining to the believers. The first one mentioned is wala for each other, which of course entails bara'a from their enemies. Wala and bara is mentioned prior to ordaining the good. The next qualities are ordaining the good, but it's mentioned prior to ordaining the good and forbidding the evil. It's mentioned prior to salah. It's prior to zakat and even before the general order of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's given precedence because wala and bara is an essential part of la ilaha illallah. Without wala and bara, there's no Islam. Salah, zakah, ordaining the good, forbidding the evil, that come later on in the verse, they would not be accepted when you violate the clear principles of wala and bara. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ وَيُطِيعُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ أُولَئِكَ سَيَرْحَمُهُمُ اللَّهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Rahmah and mercy descends on those who establish the true wala to the believers. Among the other qualities, you need to love the believers because Allah praised them. You need to love wala and bara because Allah praised the believers for their wala, which entails bara. A person will never be considered a Muslim even if he says the shahada from morning to night, and even if he leaves shirk, and if he does hajj every year, and even if he keeps posting about his religious ecstasy in Ramadan and when he's around the Kaaba, and if he shouts labbaik in the loudest of his voice, until he or she adhere to the principles of wala and bara. The bara'a from kufr and kafirin, and the wala to tawheed and muwahhideen. You must have bara'a from a kafir and what it entails, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala despises them and their kufr. Both. Get that right. Both. A sign of loving Allah is not just saying it or alleging it or putting it in the bio like they do. You don't love Allah until you accept wala in Him and bara'a in Him. To love Allah, you need to have wala to Allah and bara'a from His enemies. Wala to Allah is to give precedence in loving what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, even if it goes against your whims and desires. And the bara'a is to despise and detest and hate who and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala despises, even if your nafs in desire loves it. The bara'ah and what it entails is bara'ah from the kafir for his kufr, even if you think he's the nicest, cutest person on the face of this earth. Bara'ah from a kafir is not only from those who fight and kill us and our kids. It doesn't work like you want it. It's governed by the Quran and the Sunnah.
Diamonds and pearls and palaces awaiting the man of Tawheed. Virgins and wine, never-ending time, and gardens with rivers beneath.